With just 2 days of rain, the city of Bengaluru is inundated and waterlogged. But what has caused this urban mess? How are successive governments responsible for this? To talk about this, we have with us BJP MP from Bengaluru South, Tejasvi Surya, who is also the head of BJP's Yuva Morcha. Thank you, Surya, for speaking to NDTV. Surya, you are one of the few MPs who have openly talked about what is happening in Bengaluru. In fact, you've put out a very comprehensive tweet detailing what has really gone wrong with the city's infrastructure. Tell us, despite successive governments putting in effort, why do you think Bengaluru, with all its investment and IT potential, has not really gotten the attention from the state governments like it deserved?
Well, I think, Vasudha, not just Bengaluru, most of urban cities, most of the cities in India have faced, I would say, a criminal and a very serious indifference from the multiple layers of government successively over the last so many years. I think the first attempt to correct this indifference was by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, and in the last 10 years, the Modi government, through its Smart City project, through the Amrit mission, through the National New Urban Mission policy of 2017, we have made efforts to re-emphasize urban development and urban infrastructure. Even in this budget, of the 9 pillars of the Indian economy, the budget has focused on urban development and urban infrastructure as one of the pillars. So this is a historical reason as to why most of urban India faces these challenges. But insofar as Bengaluru is concerned, over the last 20-30 years, the economic pace of growth of the city has fast outpaced the infrastructure growth of the city. There are multiple reasons, and I would very clearly attribute this to the lack of long-term planning, long-term vision, coupled with the necessary political capital to see this through. So even in Bengaluru, and this I'm making as a Bengalurian, not affiliated to any particular political party, because both the BJP, both the Congress have had opportunities to govern the city. So the blame cannot particularly be around one political party. I'm trying to keep this apolitical. However, the last 1 year, 1.5 years, the new government, the Congress-led government, I don't see any major project that is announced for the benefit of Bengaluru in the last 1.5 years. Whatever has come in the way of Bengaluru has come as way of the central government projects approving the STRR, the suburban rail, and the metro. But in the last almost 2.5-3 years, Bengaluru has not seen corporation elections being held. People cannot even go and approach the local corporators asking for some work, some development, etc. There's no municipal corporation in place. BBMP officials are unapproachable. Even though it was clear that the rains are going to be much heavier this year, no planning was done in advance to assess the kind of damage the rains could do. So when there is, look at the state of our city. When there is heavy rains, when there is downpour of the kind we witnessed the last 2-3 days, the city gets inundated. And in the peak of summer, Bengaluru was really, struggling for even drinking water. So this clearly is an indication of a much deeper malaise, a malaise that is because of lack of planning, lack of civic administration and leadership, and lack of political capital to fix the city.
So there's some of the legacy problems that Bengaluru suffers from is also because governments have not been able to find solutions, including the BJP government, which has ruled the state in the past, be it the stormwater drain management or rainwater harvesting, or even leasing the lake water areas to residential plots. These are some legacy problems that experts feel have led to the crisis that Bengaluru is facing right now. How do you propose that governments address these problems?
Well, Vasudha, as of today, see, I have told you very clearly in my opening remarks that the state of our city today, or the state of urban India largely, is not the doing of just 5 years or the last 6 years. It's a decades old, multiple decades old indifference that as a system we have seen urban India with. As far as Bengaluru is concerned, today, the Congress government in the state is in charge of the city. The Deputy Chief Minister is the in-charge Minister of Bengaluru. Let him say what project the state government has pushed for, has started in the last 1.5 years since they are in power to decongest the city. Not a single project is done. Tell me one project that, for example, one of the biggest problems of Bengaluru is congestion, and to address that, the Bommai government, which you have been blaming, passed the BMLTA Act to bring all the parastatals together and to create a coordination mechanism and authority that will work towards a larger plan, a 10-year, 15-year plan to decongest the city. This was passed in the assembly when our government was there. In the last 1.5 years, this government has not found time to even constitute this authority, appoint a chairman, give it powers, financial and otherwise, and see what it can do. So, and today, I'll just conclude with this. Bengaluru and other cities in India are crying for help desperately. We are promising, most of our cities are crumbling, with the sheer weight of its own growth. Bengaluru is a big example. The brand Bengaluru that we all aspire to, work towards, build and make it truly international, that cannot happen if all governments at all levels, the union government, the state government, and most importantly, the municipal corporation, all come together, invest political capital and plan a long term, at least 25 years. That's the vision we need to build our cities with. There is a scope for a lot of brownfield development, a lot of greenfield development, a lot of utility shifting has to be made. We need to plan the way our roads are going to be, our urban infrastructure is going to be. Unless this radical approach is taken, and examples from the best of the cities of the world, say from Singapore, from London, other places are not taken, I don't see our cities, the quality of living in our cities improve drastically.
Now that you've spoken about the centre's role, given that several cities are crumbling and there is infrastructure crisis, specifically in the monsoon when it comes to cities like Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bengaluru, what do you think the centre can do? What kind of role do you think the centre can play in terms of ensuring proper intervention? Because, we saw the budget and there is a lot of emphasis on urban areas. What role, constructive role, do you see centre playing in sort of, ensuring that these cities are up to the mark?
So, the very first thing that the central government can do and has done is to provide a more progressive and a very modern approach towards policy making, specifically urban policy. 2017, the Modi government presented the new national urban policy, which is really forward looking. But the buck finally stops with the state government and, most importantly, municipal governments, because if you don't have, we have seen across the country, whether it's in Maharashtra, whether it is in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, state governments do not hold municipal elections for more than 4 years, 5 years. So unless we really empower our civic leadership at the municipal levels, give them financial powers, have a directly elected mayor for at least 3, 4, 5-year terms, then not much can actually come. The mayor of New York, the London of New York, these are such important political offices in these countries. And there are so many different parastatals in all of our cities. What the BBMP does, the BWSSD doesn't know. What they do, the metro people don't know. What BMTC wants to do, the other transport parastatals don't know. So this is how most of our cities are functioning. And this problem is more pronounced in a city like Bengaluru, but it is the same case, say, with Gurgaon. It is the same case with, say, Delhi. It is the same case, say, with Pune and Mumbai. So I think the National Urban Policy 2017 is a fine document. It's a fantastic piece of policy. State governments and municipal administration has to now align, and I'm so happy that even in the present budget, of the 9 pillars of India's economic growth, urban development and urban infrastructure is considered to be one of the 9 pillars. There is no dearth of funding for it. We need to provide more and more funds for developing urban infrastructure, because it is only through our urban centers India can become $30 trillion and a $5 trillion economy that we are aspiring for in the next few years and by 2047.
So the centre and state have to work together, but of course citizens have a responsibility too, mainly of asking questions from the government. Thank you, Tejasvi Surya, for joining us on NDTV.
Thank you. Thank you.